What is going on, everyone? My name is ReshiMine. Welcome back to another video on the channel, and hopefully you all are having a fantastic day. If you are new to this channel, please consider hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, become part of the ReshiMine squad. Appreciate all the support, as always. Today we're doing another Meta Makers Bundle, and this one comes from Sea of Tactics. And I gotta say, this one is actually way more attractive than the one that Freezes had. That is because you had the option of getting one or both. It's $5 each. So what do you get in this? Or not screen, snapshot will be on screen, like I meant to say, everything you get. So everything you'll get in this bundle: 120 Meta Makers Crystal Autobot, 100 plus 20. Each Meta Makers crystal contains the chance to drop one 4-star Meta Makers bot, 5%, one 3-star Meta Makers bot, 95%. Eligible bots include Roadbuster, Topspin, Swoop, Sunstreaker, and Firefly. That is a pretty good group, if I'm going to be honest. And then you get 11 Meta Builder crystals, plus 2 more. Each Meta Builder's crystal contains a chance to drop 30 premium character crystals, 20%, 60 premium combat chips, 20%, 75,000 spark, 20%, 150,000 combat spark, 20%, 500 5-star shards, 10%, 500 5-star combat shards, 10%. And then you'll get 275,000 spark. That's pretty good and all. Now, mind you, if you bought both bundles, you get the same amount that you do with like a Freezes Maximus bundle, for example. Now, I would love to tell you guys that we could get 2 5-star bots and a combat flash weapon today. It's not going to happen because I'm at 32 combat chips. However, let's get right in the opening and seeing if we can actually strike the magic luck and maybe get really lucky. Who knows? Enjoy the opening. So while it was unfortunate that we were not able to get a new 5-star combat, I would like to let you know the anniversary on June 22nd actually will give you 5k 5-star shards and combat shards. That's a steal of its own right. And believe it or not, it is the 10th year anniversary, so well done to the developers on this game. Now, the thing of the matter is with being over 2,500 combat shards, I actually have a chance to go for another weapon around the anniversary time, which is a huge W as it may seem. Maybe I'll get Cosmic Rust Blaster. Now, in the meantime, in past openings, we've gotten 2 5-star bots a lot of the time. Can we continue this trend? Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think? Don't sneak ahead, that's cheating. But, anyhow, let's get in the opening and enjoy. Looks like we're going to be continuing that trend, ladies and gentlemen, of getting 2 5-star bots in a Meta Maker's opening. And that means, which batch are we going for? Well, we're going to try to pull off some magic, which probably might not work. Plan is to go for batch 6, which features Rustus and Sandstorm as the only bots that have not been pulled. Now, the ideal situation here, and this could backfire at any moment, is just to get Sandstorm and then jump to batch 18 to finish off that batch and get Snapdragon. But what are the odds that it can actually happen? Let's find out. Roll the first opening. So, we ended up running out of luck from last episode because we ended up getting Rustus. And the matter is Rustus was never really on my list as wanted bots, but now hearing that this bot can pair up with Skids might come in handy. Let's look at her stats on screen. Will be popping up very soon. Her ability, Artillery Support, level 8. Cost is 5+3. Call an artillery artillery at a nearby location, inflicting 296 fire damage, a total of 2,961 per second over a medium-sized area for 10 seconds. And then our power core, G1 Restus, gain 12% ability damage. Enemies destroyed by your ability heal you for 4% of your missing health. And then the combat bot, Terror Shot, gain 10% DPS. Heal your bot for 75% of the damage dealt. Every 7 seconds, disable a target for 3 seconds. Scout only. Pretty good if I'm not gonna lie. And when you pair her with Skids, like I said, it's a whole bunch of destruction. But we're not done yet. Let's go get ourselves the last bot of batch 6. Roll the footage. Looks like batch 6 is officially a wrap because we pulled the final bot, which is known as Sandstorm. Now, Sandstorm is really good, but I need more practice with him. Let's look at his stats. Now, he's a triple changer, so he has 2 abilities instead of 1. So pay attention. The first ability is known as Supply Airdrop. Cost level 9. Don't skip the level. Cost is 3+2. Drop an air supply airdrop from the air. All Autobots receive 208 healing, a total of 1,039 per second, and all enemy buildings affected by Toxic Rush take total of 224 acid damage, a total of 1,122 per second, all for 5 seconds. That was a lot of read. That was a mouthful. But then the next ability, which is Toxic Rush. Level 9. Cost is 3+2. Rush into combat and release acid in a large zone on impact, inflicting 112 acid damage. A total of 1,122 per second for 10 seconds. And then grant 416 additional healing, a total of 2,078 per second for 5 seconds to all Autobots under the supply airdrop effect. So it's a really weird combo with his ability, if I'm going to be honest. But let's look at his core and combat. The core, G1 Sandstorm supplied. Now, there are 2 G1 Sandstorms. The other one, I believe, his name is Toxic. Which sounds weird, but just believe me on that. Anyhow, which one is this? What does this one do? That's what I meant to say. Gain 20% health and regenerate 4% health every 10 seconds. And then the Combat Spoil Sport. Every 5 seconds, fire a plasma disc dealing normal damage equal to 180% of the bot's base DPS, bouncing up to 4 nearby targets, 10% less damage per bounce. I apologize for not reading that fully, but it happens sometimes. Anyhow, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said at the beginning, if you are still new to this channel, please consider hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, become part of the ReshiMine squad. And I just want to say this real fast before we end up ending today's video. I will not be uploading next week, and that is because I'm going to try to organize the channel up a little bit better. In fact, CF was the one that recommended me to install playlists, all this stuff. So that's what's going to be happening. So if you notice something changing on the channel, do not panic. I'm at work. And please stay tuned to the community tab so that way you know when I'm going to be posting videos again. I'll see you guys later, alligators. Bye-bye.